Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, most merciful. Hello and welcome to a new episode of Teaching English on Dروس Mega Goal 3. Okay, before we start, let's review the plan of our class today. First, we're going to introduce activity number 11, which is form, meaning, and function. You'll find it on page 30 and 31. What does this activity include? It includes some grammatical parts like simple past be, how to use the verb be as an auxiliary verb and as a main verb. Next, also we'll talk about simple past tense with regular verbs and with irregular verbs. Number 3, we're going to talk about time expressions of the past and also the past with used to and would. And also we're going to talk about past progressive. And also we're going to have some exercises on these parts of grammar. And finally we're going to review some irregular verbs. And now today we are going to start our class inshallah, which is going to be form, meaning and function as we said earlier. First look at number 1 here, simple past with the verb be. What is the verb be? The verb be is the most important verb in English. It can be used in 3 forms, like in the present, in the past, and in the past participle. We can use it as am, is, are. If we're talking about the present, we can use it in the past as was and were, and we can use it as been in the past participle. Okay, now we can use this verb as an auxiliary verb كفعل مساعد, and we can use it as a main verb. Okay, so like here this sentence is used in the passive form صيغة المبني للمجهول. So we use it here as an auxiliary verb or a helping verb. How were the burglars caught? Okay, the burglars were caught. Now we are asking, so we are making the auxiliary verb be preceding the noun. So how were the burglars caught? We can say here there were security cameras everywhere. Okay, also here we use were because we are talking about the past and because we are talking about cameras, plural. Okay, next, was the pickpocket sorry for his crime? Here we use it also as a question. When we exchange the places between the subject and the auxiliary verb or the main verb, we can use it as a question. Here, was the pickpocket sorry for his crime? This is a yes or no question. The answer is yes, he was. Okay, he apologized to the victim. Next, we have in English 2 kinds of verbs. We call them regular verbs and irregular verbs. What are the regular verbs? The regular verbs are the verbs that follow certain pattern. You can add ed to the verb and you can add ed also to the past participle. You can make past and you can make past participle just by adding ed. Like what? Like visit. You say visit yazur. How do you use it in the past? Visited. How can you form it in the past participle? Also visited. And we have so many other examples like visit, need, needed, watch, watched, help, helped, okay, and play, played. On the other side, we have some kinds of verbs are called irregular verbs, okay, that are not following the pattern or the system that these verbs follow. Like we change the verb completely from the present to the past and to the past participles. We have some examples like come. The verb come is an irregular verb. So how can we use it in the past? We say came and the past participle is come. Okay. Next, drive. Drive. What's the past of drive? Drove, and the past participle is driven. Break, yaksir. We say broke in the past and broken in the past participle. Have, okay, means as a main verb here. It means yamluk. We say have. The past is had and the past participle is had as well. See, yara. The past is saw and the past participle is seen. Okay. Now, how can we use these verbs? We can use them in full sentences and we can use them also in questions. We can use them in negative and affirmative sentences also. What did the police do? They arrested the criminal. The police arrested the criminal. Here in they, we are referring to the police. We say they arrested the criminal. Okay. The other sentence here, they didn't arrest. So that this verb is considered as a regular verb. Okay, they didn't arrest the man. Notice here, we added ed here, okay, to indicate the past, and we omit the ed here also, although the sentence is in the past. Why? Why did we omit the ed here and we kept it in the first one? Yes, because there is did here. When you have did here, it's enough to indicate the past. So did here is used as an auxiliary verb, which can tell that the sentence is in the past. So when we have did, the following verb should be in the infinitive form, في المصدر, without adding anything. So they arrested, they didn't arrest. Okay, you can think of other examples, like if you say I play, sorry, in the past you say I played. If you want to make it negative, you say I didn't play. I went to school, I didn't go to school. I worked here, I didn't work. So when you have did, you change the verb into the infinitive form. Okay? Look at the other example here. Where did they go after they were arrested? Okay, here we are asking about the verb go, and here we are using the passive form, صيغة المبني المجهول. So where did they go? We say the answer, they went. So here did, followed by the infinitive form, but in the answer we use it in the past. So they went to the police station. They didn't go to the police station. Okay, here, look at the two sentences again. They went to police station, and here they didn't go. Because we used did, we change the verb into the infinitive. Now, what are the expressions that can tell you about the time? Okay, we have so many expressions that can tell about the time in addition to the form of the verb. You have two things indicate the past. The first one is the form of the verb. You use it in the past. And also sometimes you have expressions like here, yesterday. When you talk about yesterday, that means it is in the past. So the armed robber stole a car. So here stole is in the past. The form of the verb is stole, which means the past of steal. And yesterday here is a time expression which indicate the past. What is the other expression here? Like this example here, Ali forgot to lock the door last night. Last night is another expression. Also in 2006, also another expression. And we can say ago, like if you say 2 days ago, 2 years ago, 2 months ago, 2 minutes ago, and so on. In 2006, in 1999, okay, in January, okay, and so on. Last night, last month, last year. Okay, these are the examples of the past expressions. Now, the past with used to and would. What is the meaning of used to? Everybody knows that the verb use means يستخدم. But does it mean يستخدم here? No. When we use it in this form, used to, and sometimes used to, that means it is in the past. Okay? That is in the past, that was a habit before, but now no more. Look at the examples here. We use the used to plus be to talk about past states that are no longer used. Okay, no longer true. Sorry. What did you use to be afraid of when you were younger? When you were younger, you used to be afraid of something, but now you don't. You are not afraid of anything. Oh, sorry, you are not afraid of this thing. I used to be afraid of elevators. Now he's talking about himself. He's saying that he was used. He used to be afraid of elevators. But is he afraid of elevator now? No. This form of sentence indicates that it was a habit in the past, but no more now. I always took stairs instead, but that was before. But now, no. Okay, what about used to plus the verb and would plus the verb to talk about past habits that are no longer true? The other example here, did you used to travel a lot in your job? Now, the same thing we said about the infinitive form. After did, we use used to also in this form. When we talk about used to in the past as a question, we should use did. So in this case, we omit the ed to indicate it as an infinitive. Did you used to travel a lot in your job? He says, yes, I used to. Or you can say also, I would travel, which indicates the same thing, to a new place every year. I didn't use to. Why did he use here used to instead of used? because we have did, as we said earlier. I didn't use to like it much, and now I prefer to stay in one place. Now we come to some exercises. Okay, we will try to answer some of them, and we will leave the others as homework. You do it yourself. And also I will ask you kindly to capture the screen to check the right answers, but you look at them after you answer them in your books and in your student's book and in your workbook, which we are going to tell you about what pages they are in. This is a conversation between Fahad and Imad, and they are using this conversation. They are talking about something in the past. So we have now many verbs. We want to change them into the past. Like here, Fahad, what Fahad is asking, what to you yesterday? The verb happen. How can we use the verb happen in the past? It is very easy. Since it is an irregular verb, we can say what happened. Okay, so this is an exercise. It's exercise A on page 30. We say happened. Why did we use it happen here? Because he is asking about yesterday. So the time expression here, yesterday, that means the sentence or the question is in the past. Next, he answered him to Falcons football game. That verb is go. How can we use it in the past? What is the past form of the verb go? Think. Yes, it is went. Okay, so I went to the Falcons football game and I pickpocket my wallet. Okay, steal. He wants to talk about something happened in the past. How can he use the verb steal in the past? What is the past form of steal? He says here, stole. Yes. Okay. Fahad also asked him another question. Oh no, you call the police? He's asking him. Since the conversation started in the past, and yesterday is the time expression that told us that they are talking about something happened in the past. What is the past of do here? We say did. Okay, did you call the police? Yes, and they. What is the past of catch? Yes, caught the thief. Next, that is great. How? They catch him. How? And the sentence is in the past. How can we use a verb in the past? Here we say, did they catch him? And why did we use the catch in the infinitive? Because we changed the verb, the auxiliary verb into did. Now the last one, there security cameras everywhere. Here think of the past form of the verb be. What are the two forms of the verb be? Was and were. Yes. But do we use was or were? Which one you think? Here, since we are talking about plural, jam', we should use were. We say here, okay, there were security cameras everywhere. Okay, next. Exercise B on student's book, page 30. There is an exercise here which can train you how to use the verb used to. We can say he work with a partner, ask an answer about Umar's life. Umar's life has changed. Use used to and didn't used to. How can we use them? Okay. Number one. Okay, let's talk about the example here. Umar watched TV every day. This is an example which was answered in your book, but here we're talking about number one. Umar watched TV every day. Now he goes to the gym. So two things. Before he watched TV, but now he goes to the gym. How can we talk about the two activities or two actions using used to? As a question, we say, what did Umar used to do every day? Why did we use to here? Because we have did. The answer, he used to, or we can say he would watch TV every day. He didn't used to go to gym. That was before. Okay. Another example here, Umar ate a lot of junk food. Because he was not wise enough before, so he used to eat a lot of junk food. But now he eats fruit instead. How can we ask? What did Umar used to eat before? He used to eat junk food, but now no more. He eats fruit. Okay. These are other examples here, number 3, 4, and number 5. I will leave them for you to answer them in your books, which is going to be on page 30, exercise B. So please capture this screen, the screen now, and try to answer them yourself, and go back to the image that you captured and check check for your answers. Next. Okay, let's talk about the past progressive. What is the past progressive? The past progressive, like the thing that was happening in the past. Like now, I am talking. You are listening. You are watching. But if I want to use these activities in a progressive form in the past, I just change is, are, the forms of the verb be into the past, was and were. Like here the example. What were you doing at 3 o'clock today? 3 o'clock in the past, okay? This afternoon, what were you doing? That means it's a progressive action that happened in the past, that was happening in the past. The answer, I was driving home from work. At 3 o'clock, I was driving. How can we use the progressive form? We use it when we talk about temporary state action. So many usage of this tense, but we'll talk about some of them here. Have you always lived in Riyadh? If you talk about an action that happened temporarily معناته مؤقتا. No, a few years ago I was living in Dubai. Okay, that's temporary. مؤقت, you say I'm living in Dubai. I was living in Dubai. What were you doing in Dubai? You say here I was working at a hotel. That is a temporary time. Next. Okay, we use the past progressive always to describe a repeated annoying action. That an action that was happening repeatedly and it was annoying. Like if we talk about my neighbor's son, okay, that he was always getting into trouble when he was younger. That was a repeated annoying action that was happening before, but it doesn't mean that it is happening now. Now here is the most important part when you talk about the past progressive to describe two actions. Actually, you talk about the past in two actions. The first one is the long action and interrupted by a short action. How? Like for example, you say here in the sentence, I was working on the computer. That was progressive, happening in the past, continuously. But there was a short action that happened during this action. The power went out. So while he was working, the power went out. Okay. Another example. Let's think about another example. Like for example, if you say, yesterday I was reading a book, my friend called me. So two actions. The first one is continuous in the past, progressive, and the other one is short action. Okay, this is very important. It is very helpful if you want to tell stories and if you want to tell actions or talk about events that happened in the past. Now, we use the past progressive to describe two actions that were happening at the same time. Also, we can use the past progressive to talk about two things happening at the same time. Not short and long actions, no. Happening at the same time. Like, for example, if I talk about myself, I was reading a book, my brother was watching TV. So these two actions happened in the past, but both of them are happening at the same time. Look at the example here. While I was studying, بينما كنت أدرس, while I was studying, my brother was watching TV. Okay, this is the example. This is an exercise which is going to be on page 31, exercise D. Okay, and also we have an exercise here. It is going to be on page 31 as well. It is exercise C. You can check it and you can answer it as a homework in your book. But please, before we go to the other slide, the second slide or the other slide, capture this screen so that you have the right answers. This is the model answer for this exercise, and you go back to it to check for your right answers. Okay, this is the completion of the exercise also. Okay, this is a conversation between a policeman and John. Okay, it is very important. This exercise is important. Why? Because you will have also to write something in exercise D. Now here, with a partner, discuss if you think John Wilkson is guilty or innocent. From the previous conversation, you can check for this conversation about the suspect, المتهم, if he is guilty or innocent. Give some reasons why based on the interview in exercise C. So when you finished answering the exercise and checking your answers, try to give some reasons why why you based your based on the interview why you think that he is guilty or he is innocent. Guilty means مذنب, innocent means بريء. Okay. Also here we have some exercises in the workbook. If you don't know the right answers, also you can do it yourself. Capture this screen and answer the right exercise, please. Also this is the completion of the exercise. Okay, this is the model answer for this exercise. We don't have enough time to answer it, but we explained how to use the past form and how to use the past progressive and all these details. Okay. This is exercise M, also on page 19 in your workbook. You need to do it yourself and go back to the captured image here. And here depends on your own thinking of the answer. You will answer the questions with true statements about yourself, about you. Okay, this is will be different from one to another. Okay, and the exercise also on page 20, it is exercise O. You need to capture this image also because this is a model answer for this exercise. Okay, this is the completion of the exercise as well. Page 20, exercise O. And also this is the last exercise to match. You need to match A with B, this column with this column. And we go at the end of this class to the irregular verbs of today. Now look at these two children. They are sitting down now. What is the past of sit? Sat. And the past participle is sat as well. How can we use it in full sentences? They sit there. They sit there. Okay, we use the subject, verb, object, and we follow the punctuation rules, which is we start with a capital letter, we end the sentence with a full stop. This is very important. You need to make it a habit so that you never forget to do it, because it's very important when you write articles and when you write in general. They sit there, the past, we say they sat there and they have sat there. Next. Okay, now this boy is sleeping. So what's the verb here? Sleep. How can we use the verb sleep in the past? We say slept, and the past participle is slept as well. He sleeps early every day. In the past, we can he slept early, and in the past participle, we say he slept early. Speak, spoke, spoken. يتحدث, the past of speak is spoke, and the past participle is spoken. He speaks well. In the past, he spoke well. In the past perfect, when he finished the action, when the action is done already, we say he has spoken well. Okay. Now this guy is buying something. Okay, or he is spending his money. Okay, so the verb is spend. What is the past of spend? Spent, and the past participle is spent as well. So he spends his money. In the past, we say he spent his money, and in the past participle, we say he spent his money. The last verb of today is steal, يسرق. So we can say steal, stole, and stolen. How can we use it in 3 sentences? He steals money. It's a habit, okay? And in the past, we say he stole money. And in the past participle, where is the money? He has stolen the money. Okay, sorry, he has stolen the money. Okay, and that's all for today. Thank you very much for watching us, and see you inshallah in the next episode. Goodbye.